Okay, we're going to start with making equations of parallel lines. We want to end, at the end, we want our equations to be in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope, b is the y-intercept. Okay, so we're given this equation, and it is in slope-intercept form. So we know the m is whatever's with the x. In this case, there's nothing there, so our slope is 1. We want to make another equation that's parallel to a line that has this point in it. Parallel lines have the same slope. So I'm going to use point slope, y, this is x1, y1, y minus y1, so y minus 2 equals m, which is 1, times x minus x1, x minus 3. So that's in point slope. I want to end up in slope-intercept. So distribute first, which 1 times that's going to give us the same thing. So y minus 2 equals x minus 3. I need y by itself, so add 2 to both sides. Y equals x minus 1. Both have slope of 1, so that is correct. Okay, this one is in slope-intercept, so we know whatever's with x is the slope, -4. The line that passes through this point will have a slope of -4 as well. I'm going to use point slope to find out what that equation is, and then we'll make it into slope-intercept. So y minus y1, this is x1, y1. So y minus 5 equals m, which is -4, times x minus -2, which means x plus 2. Distribute, because I need to get this into slope-intercept. So y minus 5 equals -4x minus 8. Add 5 to both sides because we need y by itself. So y equals -4x minus 3. -4 is our slope, -4 is our slope. Those are parallel. Okay, in this one, it's in slope-intercept, so our slope is -3/4. So the slope of the line that contains this point will also be -3/4. Using point slope, y, this is x1, y1. Y minus y1 would be y plus 6, since it's negative, equals m, which is -3/4, times x minus 4. Distributive, because I need to get this into slope-intercept. So y plus 6 equals -3/4 x plus 3. Need y by itself, so subtract 6 from both sides. Y equals -3/4 x minus 3. Both have a slope of -3/4, so they are parallel. This is already in slope-intercept, so our slope is 2/5. We need to know a parallel line that goes through this point. Using point slope, y, this is x1, y1, y minus 4 equals m, which is 2/5, times x minus 5. Distribute, so I can start getting into slope-intercept. So y minus 4 equals 2/5 x minus 2. Need y by itself, so add 4. Y equals 2/5 x plus 2. Both have the slope of 2/5 x, so they are parallel, or 2/5. Okay, now we're going to talk about perpendicular lines. Remember, this is the symbol for perpendicular, where it forms right angles. So we want to know an equation of a line that's perpendicular to this equation, but goes through this point. Perpendicular lines, this is the slope if it's in slope-intercept, y equals mx plus b. The slope is what is with x. It's the m. So perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocals of this slope. So we needed to flip it over and make it the opposite sign. So our new slope for our perpendicular line is +3. When I flip that over and make it the opposite sign. So now I'm going to use point slope to find our new equation, and then we're going to turn it into slope-intercept. We want it to end in slope-intercept. So y, this is x1, y1, y plus 2, because it's a negative, equals, our new slope is 3, m times x plus 2. Again, that's a negative, so it's going to be plus. Now I do distributive. I'll go here. So y plus 2 equals 3x plus 6. Need y by itself, so subtract 2 from both sides. Y equals 3x plus 4. 3 is opposite reciprocal of this slope, so they are perpendicular. Here's another one. First, I have to put that in slope-intercept form to find out what the slope is. So this right here is in standard form. To get it into slope-intercept, I need y by itself. So subtract x from both sides. So negative y equals negative x plus 5. Y can't be negative, so I'm going to switch all the signs. Y equals x minus 5. Okay, so the slope is whatever's with x. In this case, there's no number, so that means slope is 1. When we flip it over, it's still 1, but we need the opposite. So negative 1 is our slope for a perpendicular line to that equation going through this point. So I'm going to use point slope y minus y1 times m times equals m times x minus x1. That's x1, y1. So y minus 5 equals m is negative 1 times x plus 6, since that's a negative 6. I need to do distributive because I need to get it in slope-intercept. So when we put this through, it's just going to change all the signs to negative 1. So y minus 5 equals negative x minus 6. Need y by itself, so add 5 to both sides. Y equals negative x minus 1. So our slope, remember, was 1 for our original, and it's negative 1 for our perpendicular one. So these are perpendicular. Have a great day.